broadcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody and welcome to another podcast episode where 5 of us, because we have our special guest Morgan today, we're going to sit and talk shit about this thing called wrestling. So we are here to discuss our...
Hell yeah.
You put me off. I was so focused already.
You put yourself off.
Yeah. We're here to talk about the upcoming premium live event Fastlane, which is happening on Saturday. So yeah, let's get into our predictions.
Let's do it.
Right, so we have 5 matches announced for the pay-per-view. I feel like we're going to have maybe another one announced on SmackDown this week. But so far, our first match announced is Seth Rollins, our World Heavyweight Champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. We'll go along, starting with Morgan down, and I'll go last. So off you go.
For this one, I think it's tough, but I think realistically, it needs to be Shinsuke. You've put all of this stock into this new character, this new presentation, everything. If you don't pull the trigger on it now, you have done another hard reset for another character and then just absolutely squandered it, the same as you did with Asuka and others. Like, it's a waste to not pull the trigger now.
That's totally, I agree with that. Is it me that's going next, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, mine's a similar answer. I think it has to be Shinsuke Nakamura at this point. I don't think there's any better time for him to win the World Championship. Like Morgan just said, like the character development and the work that they've put into this character has been really cool. I especially like the fact that they've kind of taken the factor of the audience out of it, in terms of like whenever he used to come out and speak Japanese or like broken English, he used to say what, and it kind of used to kill every promo that he did. So this whole backstage thing where he's looking badass and he's got the subtitles underneath, like I love that vibe to it. Also, I do have a prediction for this match, and it's not really what's going to happen in the match. It's more of like where I think WWE is going in the future. And if Seth Rollins isn't going for surgery, I think he possibly could be the pick for SmackDown. You know, like they got Jay on Raw. Seth could be a SmackDown. Mainly because it keeps Cody Rhodes away from Roman Reigns. Please, God, thank you. And also, I would like Seth Rollins to beat Roman for the title at WrestleMania. So it'd put him on SmackDown. Roman's on SmackDown. Cody stays on Raw. Maybe wins the world title, like eventually somewhere down the line. And Nakamura finally gets his flowers and becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. So that's what I'm going to go.
Ross.
I'm for that. I'm pretty much in the same agreements of, like, especially how you mentioned Seth Rollins' surgery. I feel like it is about time for him to definitely get that, just for longevity. I don't want Seth getting it worse and worse to the point this guy can't wrestle anymore, because that would suck. And I feel like it's a good time to let him heal for a couple of months and then start the new year strong, go back in, get a couple of feuds going in January and then into February as well, because of the Perth pay-per-view coming up and things like that. I see, like, longevity wise, Seth kind of drops this title now, especially with, as you guys have said there, it's not a bad thing to lose to Shinsuke, especially as a new character. It definitely builds Shinsuke up. It gives the momentum to him. And also, hopefully they redeem the really bad finish of the last time they had a match, because I don't know if you guys felt the same way. That kick out just felt rough. And I think it was like time reasons they had it finished that way, but it just that did not feel like a wrestling finish at all.
It sucked, man. It looked like the weakest stomp I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'd like to say Shinsuke takes this so Seth can sort himself out, heal up, do what he needs to.
Also, just as a plus as well, in terms of you talking about Monday Night Raw, there's more faces in the main event at the moment than heels. I feel like it'd be quite nice to have a heel champion, and because there's a lot of rivalries there that could be, like I say, with Cody, Jay. Like, I wouldn't say Drew the heel. I wouldn't say he's anything at the moment. Maybe Drew, like anyone, like, but like, there's not many heels in like the top of the card. So Shinsuke would fit that role perfectly.
And this would be an opportunity where you could test run a Chad Gable at the upper end of the card as well, because
yeah,
that's true. You could do that. Yeah. As you guys know, I am a Seth stan for life. I will defend that man till the day that I die, because I'm probably going to die before he does. Anyway, long story short, I want him to win, but I'm in the same boat as you guys where I would not be opposed to him, because Shinsuke's been doing a lot of hard work over the last couple of years. It always feels like he gets to that point where he's almost there and then they don't pull the trigger and he has to start again. And it's just been happening year after year. And it's like, maybe do it now, because as you say, his character is different. His promos feel different. He just feels more menacing as a character. And as you say, there are so many baby faces on the roster that you could put up against a heel champion, which would give Seth more time to go away, have a surgery, come back at the Royal Rumble, hopefully be there for Elimination Chamber. That's kind of the only reason I'm going, hoping he's going to be there.
I mean, you get other talent there too. Like,
no, you know what I mean.
Oh, it's
But,
gonna be a hotel like this.
Literally. Yeah, as I say, I want Seth to win, but would not be mad if Shinsuke did it. This is one of those matches, as Morgan said, it is very hard because you could make an argument for both contenders.
100%.
You just put it perfectly there as well with the menacing word. Like he is very believable at the moment with Shinsuke. Like when he's talking about like watch your back, like I'm gonna break your back, I'm gonna like you're not gonna be able to sit up because of me.
Yeah.
I can believe it. Like it's just because of like the playing into his strengths. Like, and I'll go back to what I just said. Like him having to go out in front of an audience and having to cut a promo in English is not his strength. Like he can't do that. Like that's why I always thought he maybe needed a manager. But like these backstage like vignettes like suit him perfectly. It makes him feel like he's all around. Like you know what I mean? Like is it
You
like,
never know where you're gonna find him.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
talking through the speakers. He's talking like on the screen. He's looking, but like he's not there. And Seth's like very uneasy. Like where is Shinsuke? Because like he could just come out of nowhere and hit me in the back. I think they're working to his strengths perfectly.
Exactly. And as I say, like as you with those promos have been really good because there's been that intensity behind it. There hasn't been that feeling of him needing to put on a performance in front of people and then getting worried because they're going to go what? You know what I mean? Like he's been able to feel free with what he's been saying, and he's been able to say it in a way that's actually very true to him and his character. And it's come across very convincing. And I will say a lot of these promos have been some of my favorite Shinsuke promos.
I'm liking that everyone's like enjoying Shinsuke at the moment because I think he really does deserve like his flowers, like honestly, and the world title will just be the icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Really I actually wouldn't mind it.
I think we're in a place where we're getting very much the nearest we're going to get to King of Strong Styles Shinsuke in WWE. But with that, in a last man standing match, this is the perfect way to write off Seth. He doesn't have to be pinned, so you could literally have Shinsuke absolutely destroy him, have him carted off in a stretcher, and then say for the Rumble, he's back.
And it almost would be like a storyline of him going for something he never truly lost because he didn't actually get officially pinned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was having a bit of a connection issue.
That's okay.
You okay now, though?
No worries.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Just in time for the next match, G, if you want.
Whoa!
You skipped over her prediction. God
very
damn,
nice.
you in the group are being reset.
You can't
So
the host like that. Anyway, G, what's the pick?
Go on, G.
Right.
What is it?
So, I disagree with what Reese said about the whole SmackDown thing. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt you because if they move Seth over to SmackDown, then Becky has to go as well. And they won't move Becky because there's too much main roster stars already on SmackDown. She needs to stay on Raw. So I personally don't think they will move Seth.
Okay, no, that's a valid argument. I would say though at the moment, well, Becky's kind of on NXT at the minute, so
she's doing double duty.
She's doing double duty, but at the same time, she's not really having a spot on Raw. So like while the fact is like Seth could just go off and have surgery, would be fine. Like I mean, we all know how WWE likes to play the game anyway. Like they could take someone off SmackDown, put them back in NXT, and like Becky could take their spot on SmackDown. I think there's ways and means around it, but I see your point, definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that point that they always try to keep the couples together, so I don't think... Even with Becky going to NXT, Seth is probably still travelling with her. But yeah. Anyway, I want Seth to win. I don't see Seth losing this. I think Shinsuke is a great wrestler and he would be a great champion, but his promo work it doesn't cut it for me. So that's why I can't, without the whole combo, I don't think he would work as a top star champion. So I'm going to stick with Seth to win. Yeah, I know that's going to ruffle some feathers.
I'm just looking at Morgan.
But because it's a last man standing match, I really, really think they're going to go to literally neither one of them can get up. And I really think Damien's going to cash in.
Oh, I do like that.
I think that both Shinsuke and Seth are going to go and go and go until neither one of them can get up. Seth is somehow going to win, but I really think Damien's going to cash in.
I wouldn't be mad at that either, to be honest. I feel like Damien's at that point within the Judgment Day where he's getting kind of really fed up with what's going on within the group.
Yeah.
I mean, JD's somewhat in, he's somewhat out.
I wouldn't mind Damien as a champion either. Damien as a champion is really interesting to me. As soon as you said that.
The only other way I could see this going is if they have the Seth and Shinsuke match later in the night, and the other match will go on to the next match, which is Damien and Finn versus Jay and Cody for the tag bout. If somehow Jay and Cody happen to win that match, Damien needs to find his way to get more gold. That would be his way to get more gold.
Yeah. Exactly, because that message that Rhea sent on Monday Night Raw was more directed at Dominic about the NXT North American Championship, but who's to say she didn't say the same to everybody else, off camera?
Not true.
Yeah. So anyway, moving into our next match, which is Damien and Finn of the Judgment Day, who are Universal Tag Team Champions, versus Jay and Cody for the tag team belts. Morgan, go.
I think Judgment Day have to retain. This is a nothing storyline for Jay and Cody. It's the match to have them on the card. So if you're doing that, it has to be. This is the opportunity you get to pin Cody and it not affect him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much in the same boat. I feel like it needs to be Judgment Day. They are one of the strongest tag teams on the roster at the moment, specifically on Raw. And I feel as though if you are seriously trying to make this faction one of the best, they need to have a tag team reign longer than just one premium live event length. So, and the thing is, for me, I feel like we've already seen this match quite a lot. We've always had, the 6-man tags at the end of Raw, or we've had Cody and so on, versus the Judgment Day. So initially I was kind of like, where is this coming from? But then you think about how many times we've seen this story become an integral part of Monday Night Raw. So every time we see Judgment Day opening the show and one of them comes out and interrupts, it's very why do they keep doing this? They could just put it on Monday Night Raw or something. But as Morgan said, I think it's just to put them both on the card. So
you've literally just taken the words out of my mouth. Like both of you is number one, it's literally a nothing thing. And honestly, I'm sick to death of something happens at the start of the show. Someone gets beaten down, someone comes out to rescue him, and at the end of Raw, there's a 6-man or a tag team match, and it's every single week at this point. Like you say, it's 6 weeks. It's got a bit. I feel like I'm watching SmackDown in 2009, and Teddy Long keeps coming out. I'm so sick to death of it, man. And I think
one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Oh god, I'd rather him come back and have one more match, to be honest. So you've got a situation here where Cody could be doing better things. Jay definitely can be doing better things. Judgment Day just need to win this match because I'm already struggling to take them seriously at the moment because they keep looking like fools for the past couple of weeks, and it's a situation where you've got a load of different factions at the moment, try to grab all the power, try to grab all the scraps of power because the bloodline are crumbling. And you've got the Judgment Day, who's probably the most viable for that spot at the moment. And you got to think to yourself, would the bloodline be taking all these losses at the height of the power with all the titles? No, they wouldn't be. But why are the Judgment Day? I want to have faith in the Judgment Day. So I would like them to do this. Like you say, Cody, this is the best time to pin Cody or Jay, and neither one of them would be affected by it. And I think that the Judgment Day do need to have a longer reign, maybe to the point where it's like an internal split of the tag team titles or something that causes them to lose it.
Yeah, one thing I just want to add to what you said really quickly is I do think we are going to see Dom and JD interfere to help Judgment Day, and I do think we are going to see KO and Sami Zayn come to the defense of Jay and Cody to potentially set up War Games for Survivor Series if they choose to do it again. It would be cool, but I feel like we've just kind of seen that same iteration of either 6-man or an 8-man tag team
before on Raw.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen it quite a lot to the point where like War Games
if you
would
add
be
it in
awesome.
a War Game scenario, it's kind of cool and new and interesting because you got two.
But then it would be cool if it was War Games, but it would also be really cool if it was one of those moments where on commentary they could go, and they've never truly touched in the ring before, and this is going to be a first time thing for them. It's like saw this like 4 weeks ago on Monday night. Like it's,
this has never happened before.
So I'm in the same agreement that all of you guys as Judgment Day to retain, and the main reason for that is you can't call him main event Jey Uso, move into Raw, and put him straight back in a tag team. How is that the main event? I'm sorry. You try and build this whole new character, separate him from the bloodline, build a new story, and that new story is being Cody Rhodes' lackey boy with Judgment Day being like, look, join a group that actually knows how to work together.
But did anybody think that this is Cody's way of getting closer to Roman, befriending Jay?
Well, yeah, I can see that, but it's just if that's the logic, it still hurts Jay, especially because you're calling him main eventer. You've brought him in to rebuild these feuds separately. Of look, I know I was a dick when I was in the bloodline. Let me prove to you I'm this chill guy now. Yes, I'll wrestle you out of respect. Let me put it clear. I'm not going to be a heel. Yet now he's constantly just like, oh, let's fight the Judgment Day. Yet he's doing the same Judgment Day tactics when he's not when he's fighting them. It's like
the inconsistencies are just there.
I would have rather have seen Jey Uso on a singles match on this show. Let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Enough of the card to do it.
Yeah, like him versus Kevin Owens. Them two have got beef. Him versus Drew, they've got beef.
I would have expected more of the Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso storyline to continue because Drew McIntyre needs storylines right now, especially now Matt Riddle has gone. Remember,
this is the first time as well that Jimmy and Jay will be in the same building since they split.
It's just me, Oos. Day one-ish.
Actually, whilst we're talking about Jimmy and Jay, who's got the better solo theme? I'd love to debate that. I think it's.
I like Jay's more.
It's definitely solo.
It's solo, yeah.
Oh yeah. If we're talking all the Usos as their separate
I was just talking between Jimmy and Jay, but if you
then it's
want
definitely
to
Jay.
solo and
Yeah. Jay's got very much the old school Uso wave your hands vibe.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I do quite like Jimmy's though.
Yeah, Jimmy's is solid, but it don't beat Jay's.
Yeah,
it's just me, Oos.
Also, I think the energy goes with it. Like Jay brings the energy with the entrance.
Yeah.
Jimmy's just like,
it's just me.
All right. G, have you done your predictions for this match?
Oh no, just forget me again. It's alright.
Always.
I literally wasn't trying to. I was asking if you had because I didn't want them to forget you.
So same again. I feel like Jay and Cody is literally irrelevant tag team thrown together. There is plenty of tag teams on the roster and card that could have been put against the Judgment Day. Judgment Day to win. I can't see it going any other way.
Yeah, how have they not decided to pick Imperium or I don't know?
I've got an Imperium theory. Don't hold me off on that.
I can see what you're about to say.
Reformed DIY.
You know, because I already spoke to you about it.
We've only just got this back, so
I know. But you see what I mean? There are other tag teams that.
Look, Ross, I get where you're coming from, but I'm in a situation where I'm still very visibly upset about Edge going to AEW, and I got this DIY reunion, and peace has been restored. Don't fuck with it, is what I'm about to tell you. Don't fuck with it like that, man. It's been an emotional roller coaster of a week.
Just be yourself, can't be no one else. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know why they still have the new version of his theme. It just doesn't hit the same with the guy singing it.
No, it really doesn't. Also, the way Gargano's theme song was so good. I like that one as well.
Yeah. Wonder when that's going to happen if we're going to get the way back.
Oh, I
Yeah.
want to see the way back. I do really want to see it, but we're not going to get a full group. It's not going to happen. They're not going to want to pull the trigger on Austin Theory rejoining.
No.
But I'm
No.
kind of okay with that. Like, I don't think you need him there. The
Well, what's
way
Dexter Loomis up to these days?
Singing and catering
main event.
and main event, yeah.
Oh, that is a shame, man. Like, that actually is
Yeah.
a shame. Like, why?
Yeah.
Do you know what would be really good? And I don't get, I know we keep talking about this, about main roster going back to NXT and stuff, but do you know what would be a perfect pick for Dexter Loomis? Join Schism. Like, they need people right now. Schism's like fragile and broken right now.
Schism
Like,
is-
Dexter to reform it.
Schism is dead.
Reese is the best person to talk about this, though, because he's, the NXT
Yeah.
guru.
Schism's gone, man. Like, Ava Rain, Joe Gacy told him to go away.
No, I know, but this is what I'm saying. Dexter could, bring them back together, fix it.
But how? He's not going to be able to convince them verbally. He doesn't talk.
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want the Schism back together.
No,
Like,
I think the Schism had a good run in what it did. Like,
yeah.
we've now got new tag teams. OTM are great.
Oh, OTM, dude. Yes.
Yeah,
With
out the
Scripps-
mother.
I never thought I would say Scripps is killing it, but he actually is killing it with OTM at the moment. That little
Yeah.
promo that I did in the restaurant. Mwah.
Yeah, I didn't expect Scripps to be the way he is with this group, and I'm like, okay, you actually really fit in with these two. All right,
does.
I'll
Alright.
take it.
Speaking of groups, should we move on to the next match?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Let's
we could move on to the LWO
She
versus
got
the
the
Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. So of course we know we've got Montez, Angelo, and Bobby Lashley, but we don't actually know which three members of the LWO are going to go against. It just said the LWO. Assuming it's going to be Ray Santos, but I'm not sure whether it will be Cruz or Joaquin Wild.
Ooh,
I
Spanner
have,
in
a
the
theory,
works.
I have a theory on that.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go through our predictions. You guys can put your theories in when we get to you.
Theory time.
All
Theory
right.
time.
That's
Morgan?
just a theory.
£8 down.
No, stop, guys.
Right, off you go, Morgan. Go, go, go.
So I think it's going to be Bubbles and Street Profit, just the Profits, because that's what they are effectively now.
Mhm.
But I think you're going into it, and it's going to be effectively Ray, Santos, and Dragon Lee.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
actually,
that's a
yes,
shout.
yes,
yeah,
Yeah, I like
that's a
that.
shout. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that.
Because then you've effectively got three luchadors there
Yeah.
to do the biz. And if
And-
you're doing,
I
if
was
you're
just
on
going
the
to say,
outside,
and Dragon Lee's having his match against Austin Theory this week.
exactly, it builds in. But also in that you have three luchadors, two of them who still have their masks, and one who's on the outside who has that insecurity.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like
And you see that playing out through the matches. You'll see Ray and Dragon Lee will do the whole head mask, mask to mask thing and that kind of thing, and you'll see it all play out, and it'll just be that moment where it just won't work for him, and then he'll be gone. He'll dip deuces. But then he won't have turned heel at that moment. It would have just been a hot-headed moment, but that would have cost them the match.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool.
Yeah. I think we're going to be in a situation where we see the Street Profits doing anything they can to be on Bobby's good side, because Bobby is very hot-headed and he's got a very large temper. I do think that Street Profits and Bobby Lashley will come away with the win. I've got a couple of theories here. I think what could happen is there could be a theory number one, beatdown segment at the very end. So Bobby and the Street Profits are going ham on the LWO. Zelina gets involved. Then we see none other than Bianca Belair come out to neutralize her and join the faction. So that could be the first way.
That's cool.
I've got a couple of theories of this. Secondly, Bobby Lashley was asked in an interview about Jade Cargill joining their faction. And he was like, look, man, if it fits, it fits. We'd love to have her. If the same thing happened, could we see maybe Jade Cargill be that person to neutralize Zelina?
Ooh.
I'd be okay
But then
with
also, one thing as well too, and this leans in very much to the Judgment Day tag team match, which we haven't even spoken about this, because Authors of Pain apparently are ready to return at any point in time. Could you insert them, whether it's in the Judgment Day tag team at like the very end, or could you put them in with this?
That'd be cool to see Authors of Pain rock back up and stare down Judgment Day.
Because if they came back as like a baby face and it was Bobby and Street Profits that won, that could be the next team they could go up against.
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, Authors of Pain for me are one of the most, like, how do I say this? Like, missed opportunities in like WWE, like in recent memory. Authors of Pain,
Or like underutilized.
Yeah.
Like just missed. I mean, like genuine missed opportunity. Like you had a tag team there who were fantastic in NXT, in my opinion. I thought they were great, and they just did nothing on the main roster.
Well, that was the Revival for the longest time as well. Great tag team, just really underutilized. That's where they started suffering, tag teams, in my opinion, is where you got these great talents from NXT come up, and now they're still suffering from this day. They get these great tag teams build in NXT. You do awesome stuff with like the Dusty Road Classics, and then as soon as they touch main roster, I don't get what happens. It's just booking wise, WWE get really scared with booking a tag team every time.
So in terms of booking and like getting back on track, is it me because of the roles of
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely going to be the Street Profits. And like tying into what Morgan and what Courtney just said, I do think that Bianca Belair probably will come out at the end of the match. I am down to see a heel Bianca Belair. It'd be really cool to see again, like she was in NXT for a while. I definitely think Dragon Lee is going to be the third guy, which is going to spark a bit of annoyance from Santos Escobar, like in terms of why haven't you picked anyone else from the LWO to be our partner, Ray? Like, you know, like we had Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro right there. We also saw Dragon Lee trying to jump the barricade last week on SmackDown, try to help when the Street Profits were beating down the LWO. So he's got more than enough motivation to jump into this match.
You can have a segment on SmackDown that the Street Profits are beating down on Cruz and Joaquin to take them out, and then, you know, Santos and Ray are like, well, who's going to be our third person? And then Dragon Lee comes in and is like, I've got you.
And it's just Kalisto. He just runs to the ring.
Yeah.
Right.
It's CM Punk in his old luchador mask when he went bald.
Oh, gosh, no. We get El Generico.
Jericho.
Anyway, Ross.
So y'all are booking this as a 3v3. You keep booking it as a 3v3. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works of all of this. So I think Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro will be in the match as well. So I think that's going to be 4, which means Street Profits only need one more additional person. Who just recently lost a title, and he is pretty cool with Bobby Lashley when he was rocking around in NXT. And he needs some reinforcement.
Trick?
I think Trick
I didn't even
joins.
think of that.
For me, I'm sorry. I know it sounds ridiculous to quite a lot of people, but I see Trick losing that belt that quick is because they're quickly going, pull the trigger now. We're pulling him to main roster for a story, or it's to add the fact of now both Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams are down. They're going to start sparking into a feud. But for me, I feel like Trick inserting himself with Bobby's group makes sense as someone who needs that momentum and push as a driving force, because you got to touch a championship, but you didn't get to keep it. Bobby Lashley is teaching these guys how to have that killer instinct into them. I think that's perfect for Trick Williams.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
Like
I mean, I'd be pretty all right with either him or Mello, to be honest.
I think if we can expand on that, both. Because LWI has 5 members.
Oh, yeah.
Trick and Mello going, and y'all keep booking War Games to beat everybody else. Trick, Mello, and the Street Profits, LWO.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what if Bobby Lashley decides he doesn't want to wrestle and sits out and Carmelo and Trick come in?
That's another one as well. Yeah, he could sit to the side and watch. But I'd be down for a 5 versus 5 as well, because we rarely get that.
But that's what you do. That's your War Games match.
Yeah, that's your War Game setup.
I love that.
Dragon Lee being there. But there's also another LWO member that could be joining that we have not saw.
Carlito.
Carlito has been signed, and we saw nothing. Is this the perfect moment? They pull the trigger, be like, "Oh no, right, we've got a third member that we want to properly pick. We're picking Carlito."
Yes.
I mean, he
Okay.
does spit in the face of people that don't want to be cool. So.
Exactly. He's been in the face.
Well, he won't do very well against the Street Profits then, will he? Because they are cool as hell with those new suits.
Hey, I call them
They want
street
the
business.
smoke.
For me, it's street business.
Mm.
Because, they wear business suits, but they know how to fight like they're in the streets. And
It's just
also,
profit now. That's what it is.
exactly. Also, shout out to Angelo Dawkins, constantly wearing One Piece gear. I always
Paul
appreciate
Campbell
seeing
said
it.
something on the just shout out Cultaholic because we were talking about it before on on their pictures video for this. Like, if like Mello or Trick joins that group group should just be called the Almighty.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I like
it should-
that.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't need to be tied to Lashley anymore. It literally
Yeah.
can expand.
Yeah, it should be called like the Almighty. That'd be cool.
I'm not mad at
I
that.
like that a lot, yeah.
That'd be cool.
G, how you feeling?
Same as you lot, really. I think the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley are going to win this. But yeah, I think you guys explained it all. I don't really have much of an input on this other than I didn't know which LWO members were going to be in the match. But yeah, I would really love to see the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley win this. But yeah.
Nice.
Right, moving on. Our only women's match has been announced, which is a little bit annoying. We have Asuka versus Charlotte versus Io Sky for the women's championship.
Why Charlotte inserted into a match?
Because she has to be all the time.
Fine.
She never has a storyline either.
Literally.
Her
Send her
storyline.
back down to NXT, for God's sake. Give her
His
some
storyline and character is literally, I want to be champion. That's it.
All right, let's actually do predictions.
Go on,
I just
Morgan.
needed to say that. I was
Go on.
angry. Go on, Morgan. Start it up.
I don't think Carl can get out. What are you doing, Carl?
It's going to be Charlotte, let's be fair.
What?
Oh.
It's going to be Charlotte.
Oh, don't you even start!
Don't you put that kind of negative energy out there, I swear to
Who
God.
invited him back? Get
You.
rid of him down.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
What energy?
Shut up,
What
my
energy?
God.
Wow. I mean, it's a great show. Don't ruin it.
Get yours now.
Yeah. Check out my Etsy, link in bio. But that being said, Io isn't doing much with the title, whether we like it or not. And I know she hasn't had the opportunity, but she hasn't felt big time with the title, even after winning it. That's the problem. Asuka is already too damaged again to give her back the title. Give it to Charlotte, and then you just build. You can build Charlotte having that run, because when Charlotte wants to put her boots on, there's no one touching her. When Charlotte wants to start talking, there's no one touching her bar Bianca in this situation. You now have the dynamic of a neutral Charlotte, and if you put Bianca with the Almighty or with Bobby's group, a heel Bianca who is a justified heel.
Oh yeah.
You've got nothing else. That's a marquee match. What's happening?
Very
Your
true.
dog agrees.
Yeah.
He's got the dog in him, that's for sure.
I said this on a previous predictions episode, and I'll say it again. Never bet against Charlotte.
You
I
said
bet
it in the
you never-
SummerSlam one
last
because then Lana had a go at you straight after you said that.
Yeah.
I
It's
literally
true though.
remember.
It's true. It's don't ever bet against Charlotte. Yeah, okay, she maybe lost a couple of championship matches in recent history, but she's a 14-time women's champion for a reason, man. And I agree with what Morgan just said then.
champion because she's too entitled.
Because she lost the title 13 times.
Okay, well the point is, like, even I say it, like you can say what you want about Charlotte. She's, in my opinion, fantastic in the ring. She's great on the microphone. I don't agree with like the whole let's just give Charlotte the championship and that's her character, because that is her character, to be honest. But I do agree with like the whole if Bianca joins Bobby's group, which I think is very likely. I think that would be a great feud, and I think if Bianca beats Charlotte, which I don't think she's done, Is she done before?
No, Charlotte's the last horsewoman that Bianca
There
needs
we
to
go,
be.
exactly. So if she beats Charlotte for the Women's Championship, that'll just make Bianca's heel run even better.
Mm.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point it out there. I don't get how Bianca didn't go heel after having that 30-second loss. She had the title in her hand, got cashed in on her. How did
You've not
that
really
not
seen her since then,
make
really,
her
We haven't
heel?
seen her since then.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
the
but
moments we did, it started to teal, her weave was becoming more unraveled and unkempt.
I've referenced that in videos before, but I think she got written off TV in a damage control beatdown segment, so we haven't seen her since. But
I hope she comes back full heel then.
To be honest, I wouldn't be mad at that because, as we've said, it is justified. She's been screwed over so many times, and it's not her own fault. It's literally because other people are stepping in and getting involved in her business.
She's a justified heel or a justified tweener. A bit like Drew McIntyre.
Or a bit like Becky Lynch when she first became the man and she, turned on Charlotte. It's very justified because she'd been screwed over so much during her entire career up until that point, until she took matters into her own hands and was like, nah, screw you guys. I'm just going to do what I do. And people didn't want to boo her because they were so behind her and they knew why she was upset. It's going to be the exact same thing with Bianca because Bianca's said that she's worried about turning heel because obviously she's a role model to children and stuff, but people that have been riding with Bianca for a long time know exactly why she's fed up and why she's frustrated.
That bird for you.
For me, this match is really tricky because of the fact that Io hasn't felt like a champion. Asuka's too damaged now after her reinvigoration, and Charlotte's just constantly inserted. I've got a few ideas. My main prediction is Io to win and Kairi Sane to re-debut.
Give me.
And be like, hello, I'm here. Let's go make some magic.
She dropped her phone.
Yep. Or if we find a situation where Charlotte Flair is the winner, she could cut a promo at the very end and be like, nobody's as good as me. Then we see Jade Cargill come out. Because she's apparently slated to be at Fastlane in some capacity. My thinking is they'll do very similar to what they did with Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch at Payback, where Tiffany was just in the crowd. They could do the exact same thing for Jade because they're trying to make her feel like a big deal before she debuts. But if Charlotte was to win and then Jade was to come out and be like, what were you saying before about no one being strong enough to beat you? Do you know how big of a deal I am?
Yeah.
Because we don't even know if Jade's going to be heel or face when she comes in. So,
bruh, you can't book Jade face. You can't book Jade face.
No, I was going to say, because if Charlotte's face, you could book Jade heel.
But no, you put them both neutral.
Yeah.
Or that.
Jade is Jade and Charlotte is Charlotte. You can book them going against each other.
I've just saw too much of Jade's heel work to not kind of want that in a WWE situation. I feel
it's a different situation altogether. She can create any character she
wants.
Oh,
no, I know. I know.
A new person.
Do you know what we could do? Is Charlotte will just be chatting shit on the mic, and then Jade comes in and says, "Who the hell told you that it was open mic night, bitch?" And just bring that back.
Please,
literally.
I miss that, Brand. I miss Brandy saying that. That was the best thing.
I miss Brandy.
Who told you it was
open mic night, bitch? Anyway,
that was cool.
That's how I feel about this match. But I made a video a couple days after, literally an hour after SmackDown happened last week, and I was just really angry as to why it's always a triple threat.
Yeah.
Why can't we just have singles matches where the champion is so dominant they just go through everybody until someone's worked their way up to the point where they go ahead and challenge the champion,
Do you know in the space of about 3 weeks we've had about 3 or 4 triple threat women's matches on WWE?
Yep.
It's crazy.
I think the women's division is really struggling right now. Really struggling.
And I hate to say it, and this might be a very unpopular opinion, but I think because Stephanie McMahon is not around anymore.
No, 100%.
I don't know, because NXT seems to be doing all right. It just seems to be a main roster issue.
Because Shawn Michael understands, that's why.
NXT's on fire with the women's division.
Well, we had 3 matches yesterday.
Yeah, we had great
Shawn understands the assignment.
He does.
Anyway, Ross, how are you feeling about this match?
Right, so I'm going to completely change everyone's perspective because I'm going to talk business logic in this match.
Because you're the author of chaos.
It's already been confirmed that Japan have a new deal with the Abema network to now air WWE, SmackDown and Raw on Japanese television. So logically, you're going to want to keep one of your two Japanese people being the champion to appeal to the new audience of the new contract deal. So for me, logically, you keep Io or you keep Asuka, who's been a fan favorite for years in Japan and was one of the most looked at and watched wrestlers in Japan when she was in Stardom. You give her that opportunity once again. But for me, Charlotte's going to be taken out of the equation, and I'm going to put this out there. Charlotte is going to about to win, and I'm going to say Jade Cargill slides in, hits the Jaded, makes her mark known of, you're one of the best 4 horsewomen. I'm going to go straight for the top, beat one of the best, and I'm tuck you out of an opportunity.
Oh, so you're saying Charlotte doesn't even have a title feud with Jada? It's just
just a straight rivalry of, you're one of the greatest. You've been there. You've been long enough. I'm a new girl coming in. Yeah. How's the best way to make my presence known as a brand new talent? Yeah. You see the biggest talent there. You knock them down.
I wouldn't mind that.
And she could always be like, I've been watching you from afar for a long time, and I've been working myself up, and I've actually been seeing you fall as of late, and I can rise up to your level, if not exceed it. And I do remember we've had this conversation a while ago about, how we've got the 4 horsewomen now, the next 4 big talent to come in. You've got Raquel, Rhea, Bianca. I'd easily throw Jade into that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
easily.
It would really change the trend of WWE women's matches as well, because every single women's match has to be for the title. I wouldn't mind just straight up, let's fight.
This is what I'm saying. I don't understand why we can't do just rivalry booking. NXT did it loads of times when it was black and gold brand. AEW do it all the time where the belt is not involved.
I feel like if we were to do it like this early, you're pulling the trigger too early. What you do is you have Charlotte win, and then you have Jade come out. Say, no. You have Jade come out and go, keep hold of that. I've got my eyes on you.
Okay.
So that way, you've already sold the fact that she's got the eyes on her, and she's like, you do what the Revival and Aussie Open did, title or not, you're in my sight. So then you have enough opportunity for Charlotte to put prestige back on that title, eventually lose it, and then bring Jade back after in that moment to do the story.
Okay.
But then also she's afraid, and she's always on edge because she never knows when Jade is going to call her shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's still a great way.
We've got good ideas. It's just about putting those puzzle pieces together to make it logically make sense and not pull the trigger.
And this is the thing, we always speculate these really cool ideas that they have the opportunity to do. It's if WWE are actually willing to dedicate that, or they've got their own agenda planned. Because obviously Io winning was perfect. A lot of fans loved that and everything. But they only booked Io up to the win. Look what's been happening with Damage Control. Where is the logic now of you had the in-house fighting of her and Bayley falling out? Why have you not done, just logically, Bayley has a number 1 contenders match to go for the women's belt? And Io's like, look, I'll still wrestle you out of respect because you're my leader.
They did that with LWO, with Ray and Sandra.
Exactly. Build into that. Also, I know Dakota Kai is probably still not cleared to wrestle yet. I don't know.
Until January, no.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you build up that she keeps trying to stop Bayley and Io clashing, being like, no, don't fight. Hear me out. So it gets to a point where she's clear in January to go, forget this. We're stopping all our beef and our rivalry now. Triple threat match. Whoever wins that triple threat match is now the leader and makes all the decisions for Damage Control.
Can I just say one thing on that very quickly? Dakota Kai is actually being pigeonholed as the winner of the Royal Rumble next year.
There you go then. Perfect.
So you do a triple threat at Mania for the entirety of Damage Control.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's what's being said at the moment, but
I know.
I
believe you.
Damage Control and Io's booking.
I believe you. It's just something that I just don't want to see, to be honest.
Yeah. I understand that. And there may be a star that comes up with the popularity like LA Knight, where you change these plans even if you've got them confirmed. So that's what's being said right now. And I mentioned it because it tees in very well with what Ross is talking about. But the thing is, they've just got so much that they can do.
I feel like the women's, I don't get how Rhea hasn't got a match on the card. And
Just don't.
Don't even
And
start.
I don't get how
start.
EO is
I'll be
being
here
booked
for
this
hours.
poorly.
Don't bring mommy into this.
I will put, this is last note on the women's thing going on. I will put massive respect to Becky for calling out newer talents with Indy Hartwell, Tegan Knox being like, look, if you want these girls to get built and you want these opportunities for these girls to get on television, you need to actually book them. Let me be
And
NXT
Zoe, she
champion
said Zoe too.
and
And
go
Zaya.
against me.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, Tegan Knox aside, we've got a great match of Halloween Havoc coming up with Becky versus Lyra.
I love that.
Wild.
Yes, take my money, please.
Anyway,
What's your prediction?
I don't want any of them to win.
Oh, okay.
So the title just gets vacated.
Yeah. Bacon's gonna win.
Oh,
I don't like Asuka. I don't like Charlotte, and Io's run has been lackluster as fuck. I just want somebody else to have it, please.
Oh, okay. That's not a prediction.
Yo, no. Can
I don't
Becky
know.
do a TNA?
Io
Cash in the
Io to
NXT
retain
for a title
the
shot.
most simply.
Spin a wheel, and whoever's that's G's prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, last match on the card, is it?
It is.
It
As
is.
of now, it is.
We have Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso versus John Cena. And yeah, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine.
Can I just say, dream team. John
Nah.
Cena, LA Knight, absolute dream team.
Nah.
Morgan.
Nah.
Nah.
That's what you sound like.
Nah.
Anyway, Morgan, what's your thoughts?
Solo to pin LA Knight.
I was going to
Straight
say
out the
reverse.
gate, god damn.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Goes right to the neck,
Okay, so
baby.
why though? Why do you feel this way?
So the same thing that I said about the women's division and the women's championship is what I think you need to do with Solo. You now need to rehabilitate him because he has taken L after L since Money in the Bank and beyond. Before, so Backlash or the last Saudi show. So you now need to put him back in the same position he was before all of this happened. LA can eat a loss and still be over as anything. So if you put Solo back in that position, at least he has to be massively dominant, and it has to be towards LA. It can't be towards John because we know John is a part-timer in this situation.
But also, John could take the pin and it wouldn't do anything for him
It
anyway.
wouldn't make a difference if he was to do it to John. That's the issue. If you do it to LA, well, the crowd is hot up here for LA.
True.
I don't know. I disagree. I think him Solo pinning John Cena is quite an accolade. Like I would see that as impressive. Like if he was able to get the pin on him.
But because Austin did it earlier and it wasn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say Austin did it. It doesn't feel the same anymore. It's
It's no longer the same thing. Like to do it to LA, where LA is now at that height of popularity.
I agree on that. I think LA would be the one to like be the shock if that got pinned on him.
Yeah, which would be quite sad. I mean, I was going to say that I think if you wanted to keep LA Knight's momentum going, you would have him pin Solo. But if we're trying to put Solo in a position where we're rebuilding him, that's so conflicting because it's like we've been seeing on TV as of late, Jimmy Uso is very much becoming this corrupt version of himself, very much the same as what he tried to stop Jey Uso from being. And Solo Sikoa is very, like, he's still going ahead with what Jimmy says, but he's still very conflicted because he's like, I only take orders from the elders and they've told me to listen to Roman. And Roman's not basically condoning anything you're doing, so he's very conflicted. He doesn't know what to do, which I think makes this match so much more unpredictable. But there's already rumors going around that it's going to be John Cena and Roman Reigns at Saudi, or we were going to see LA Knight and Roman at Saudi. So it's kind of like it doesn't matter what the outcome's going to be. I think Roman's going to make his presence known.
So here's my prediction for this, and it's unfortunate because this is my boy. I think Solo's taking the pin in this match. And I think it's because everyone's looking at Jey Uso the wrong way. I think Jey Uso is intentionally causing problems for the bloodline. Like
Jimmy.
Sorry, yeah, Jimmy is causing
Let's talk about the right Uso like that.
He's intentionally causing trouble for the bloodline. Like he's he's pretending to be Roman Reigns on TV. He's like trying to call the shots. He is making it hard for Paul Heyman to make business decisions backstage. He is causing chaos backstage. Like politically, it doesn't look good for the bloodline. It doesn't it makes them unstable. It makes them look like they're not in control of even their own members. He says he wants to be in the bloodline, but for me, I take it as like Jimmy trying to destroy the bloodline from the inside. That's how I've always looked at it since he started like being chummy with Solo. Because if I don't know if you remember, like when Jimmy first told Jay why he did it, back after SummerSlam, he was like, because I didn't want you to become another version of him. I didn't want you to become corrupt like Roman.
That's exactly what's happening with Jimmy right now.
Yeah, but I think Jimmy is doing it on purpose to try and destroy the foundation of the bloodline. And I think Jimmy is going to walk out on Solo, and I think he's going to make Solo like take a big L. Like the bloodline's going to take a big L, and Roman's not going to be there to stop it. Roman's not going to be there to like do anything about it. Jay is pretending to be like, oh well, Roman's not here, I'll take charge. Paul Heyman, you listen to me. I know what I'm doing. I know you're only supposed to take orders from from Roman Reigns, but I'm here. Solo, you're my younger brother. Like, listen to me. Like, I know you're only supposed to pay attention to what Roman's saying. Let's do this and that. He's intentionally leading down a wrong path and like down like a chaotic path to destabilize the bloodline from the inside, because everyone's always tried to tackle the bloodline from the outside and it's always failed. One of the
only person who did it right was Sammy, though. He did it internally.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. Like, well, but with Sami Zayn, to be fair, he didn't even try and attack them internally. He was down for him until the bloodline decided like he was stepping wrong, and they kicked him out. They wanted to pushed him his loyalty. With with Jimmy, it's a case of you've got him there, like thinking, people think, oh, he's in the bloodline, but he's acting a bit wild. He's not listening to Roman. He's not listening to Roman because he's trying to make it harder for the bloodline. I think he's intentionally trying to cost the bloodline. It wouldn't even shock me if he put the pin on Saturday, thinking about it. It really wouldn't. Because, like, obviously, he'd be like, oh, my bad, guys. I'm the one who lost. And that, like, he's got nothing to lose in this situation. He's lost his brother who doesn't like him anymore. His family clearly doesn't respect his family anymore in the space that I'm thinking of. He's got nothing to lose. So him taking the L, number one, doesn't affect Solo. So Solo can carry on being the big enforcer. Cena can go do what he needs to do. LA Knight can pin Jimmy Uso. It win-win for everybody.
You could also have a moment where Paul Heyman pulls Solo out of the match for a second and whispers in his ear, and he's like, yeah, Roman doesn't want you here anymore. You got to go. And then Solo walks out on Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, I got to do this on my own now. But then he's too confident and cocky within himself that he just would want to go ahead and do it by himself anyway. And then obviously LA Knight and John Cena would just obviously pin him.
I honestly think what Jimmy is doing at the moment is intentional. Everything that he's doing is intentional, but in like a sneaky, nefarious way. Like none of it seems genuine. None of it seems genuine. He's everything that he says sounds sarcastic. Like when he goes like. When he goes like, the bloodline is now in your city,
you can tell it's so fake.
Yeah, it sounds like he's sarcastic. It's not genuine whatsoever, and it's like.
Whereas when Jay says it, it's very genuine.
Yeah, and then when Paul Heyman's talking, he's like, "Give me the microphone," and like takes it off and goes, "Yeah,"
and he just goes, "Oh, Roman Reigns."
It's just like it's all just so forced, but it's intentional. I love it. I love what Jimmy's doing at the moment.
Yeah. Ross, have you given your predictions for this match yet?
No, I have not.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I think Jimmy and Solo are going to win, but it's because someone else is going to insert themselves and cause a situation there themselves. We saw him appear for a little bit a couple of weeks ago. I think The Rock is going to rock up and help Jimmy out on like just to kind of like stay to piss off Roman, and I think that's where we're finally going to get the insert of Roman and like Rock going forward.
There was a rumor that Roman was supposed to be back on SmackDown this week. I don't know how true that is.
But there you go then.
They're saying the 13th, aren't they? But like they're trying to move it up.
Oh, I
like,
thought it was this week.
13th is next week. This week's the 6th.
Yeah, they've announced his dates for the next coming months, but like I think they're trying to move it up to get something sorted with him.
Well, yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's something they would do. I feel like there's an opportunity there to make the story happen of Rock versus Roman happen, because it was meant to happen last year and they couldn't get it done with like WrestleMania 39. I feel like this is kind of your perfect time to start it and get it built. Of where, you know, you see him help Jimmy and Solo, but be like, that weren't for Roman, that was for you, Jimmy. Fix your family stuff. Fix it with Jay. I'll fix Roman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
I'm a bit torn. I'm not entirely sure. I want Cena and LA Knight to win, but I don't think they're going to. The Bloodline are going to come out on top of this one.
Oh, okay. Who do you think's gonna get the pin then?
That's who's going to get the pin. That's for sure.
I feel like they're going to aim for Cena to try and teach him a lesson for the whole. Oh, I'm going to face you Solo anyway.
Yeah.
I think it'll
Getting
be
in our business.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like something might happen between Jimmy and Jay as well, because like I said, it's the first time that they've been in the building together since
True.
left and went to Raw. So
Could we see Jimmy interrupt Jay's match?
I'm not sure if it'll be a match
That'd be
interruption,
interesting.
but maybe them walking past each other in a backstage segment or something. I'm not sure. I just feel like something's going to happen between them, or Solo and Jay. I don't know. I've got something.
I think it's a wild idea that you put tag team match after tag team match, and you have Jay lose. So as Jay's going up the ramp, Jimmy's
comes out.
I like that.
It's the Jay looking like fuck this, and Cody looking like fuck this, and Jimmy just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do what you can't do. I'm gonna win a match without you." Hey,
He gets another slap like me and Jim did.
I loved that. That was gold.
That was good.
Yeah. But anyway, that is the 5 official announced matches for Fastlane. I'd just like to point out how there is only one Solo versus Solo match. The rest of them are all triple threats or tag teams.
That's impressive.
Because I was going to point out the fact that obviously Randy Orton's been at the Performance Center, but there isn't really anywhere he could fit in this pay-per-view if he was going to make a return.
He could return at Crown Jewel. I feel like they'd pay a lot of money to make that happen.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be the better spot for him to return at Crown Jewel.
Of course, there might be another announced match on SmackDown this week. A match that I spoke to Courtney about that I thought they could fit in for Fastlane, since our friend Johnny Gargano has returned, is Johnny Gargano and Ciampa versus Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. That'd be a good match that they could put together at last minute for Fastlane. Again, it's another tag team match, but yeah, that was something I came up with. I don't know if anybody else has any ideas on a final announced match that they could throw together for Fastlane.
No. I just want to say I'm getting really frustrated at the fact that every single predictions episode, it feels like we're getting fewer and fewer and fewer women's matches.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be really excited for the time we were having like 2 or 3 women's matches on the card, but now we're lucky if we get one.
When was the last time that the women's tag team titles were defended on a pay-per-view?
Who even I was just going to say who even holds them,
Jesus.
but it's Chelsea and Piper.
When was the last time there was a legit women's tag team feud?
Sasha and Bayley.
Freaking Kaylee Ray or whatever her name is now.
Alba Fire.
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
I don't even know their names because they're that irrelevant at the moment. An established tag team that they're doing fuck all with. What's the other 2 bitches that came from NXT?
Kaden and Katana.
What are they doing with them?
They're just on main event.
They're too busy partying them. Dancy girls.
Established tag teams that they're doing fuck all with.
I get what you're saying there. Yeah, it is very.
It's just disheartening. Like, I just
Oh,
think,
100%.
we're all about trying to make equality and stuff happen. And, we've got, 5 matches on the card is great because I think every match on this card is going to get time. Something's going to happen. But, like, just as a women's wrestling fan in general, it just makes me feel like not enough time's being put in. And as I said before, I genuinely think that a lot of this women's division downfall has actually really come from not a woman's authority figure or a woman's role model being around, i.e. someone like Stephanie McMahon. She really cared about the division, which is why we saw it get to the heights that it did, to the point where it had its own PLE.
Well, I think this is the case. I think it's less a case of Stephanie McMahon being around and more the fact that it's somebody like Triple H who, as much as he cares about women's wrestlers, he doesn't care about women's wrestling.
Yeah,
Because
it's not, yeah,
you
it's
could
not
probably
his
say
fault.
like NXT.
Yeah.
We've got the breakout tournament that's kicking off. We had all the women's matches. They were great. We've got storyline Kiana James and Roxanne Perez, and that's non-title.
Yep. Yep.
So-
We've also got all the Fear. Is it Fear Jade now? All the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah,
with
it was her.
yeah, all her stuff. They've really changed like a whole story.
I was about to say, like, as someone who watches NXT every week, like, and reviews it for the channel, like, the main roster could really take some notes from NXT because, like,
I think they could.
Off the top of my head, you got the whole Chase U thing that's going on at the minute. The whole JC Jane and Thea Hale is fantastic work. What they're doing, like the whole transformation of Thea Hale is great. The Kiana James and Roxanne Perez, like you said, it was amazing. The NXT Breakout Tournament happened this week. The very first match, you've got Izzy Dane, by the way, who got kicked out of that tournament really early, but she looked very cool.
Yeah.
You've had a tag team match on there that was half decent with Lola Vice, someone who was my favorite to win the Breakout Tournament, by the way.
Like the triple threat this week as well.
Becky and Lyra is going to happen. There is so much good stuff on it.
NXT is popping right now.
Probably, and even like that beforehand, you had the whole, before she got released, Dana Brooke having a story as well.
Yeah. Developing Dana Brooke up.
And to be fair to NXT as well, it doesn't look like they're dropping the ball with Kalani Jordan because she actually won the tournament match. So without Dana Brooke, like, it's not like they've just gone, well, you've got nothing to do anymore. No, they've actually picked up and let.
Yeah, no, they carried on progressing her. Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a case of it's a main roster issue because I think there's such a difference. We haven't invested time in any of the characters, even with 3 hours. We were supposed to have the Becky match with Becky versus Tegan. Unfortunately, she got injured.
Yeah, she had a laceration from the Extreme Rules match, causing her to have 11 stitches, which it looked gnarly, mate.
Yeah, but even again, that's another match that literally went out there, a main event in a PLE.
Yeah. And then Tiffany got injured from that too, as well.
So yeah, but it's showing you. So you can. There's a way for it to be done. It's just not being handled well.
I think we're at a point where we could actually see a few of these NXT women get called up to the main roster. The likes of Tiffany Stratton, that Extreme Rules match absolutely made her. And genuinely added so much credibility to her that I said in my video on TikTok when I was talking about it after it happened. I was like, you literally could put her up to the main roster tomorrow and I would not even question it because it's that genuine. I think she's at a point now where she doesn't need to vie for that title anymore. She could easily go to main roster. You got Cora Jade as well too. Cora Jade, she's main roster ready as well. You could have her even join the Judgment Day if necessary.
Well, I've been saying Valkyria. I think she really can rival, like the match that she had against Rhea. I think she could really rival going against some of the women's talent, like.
Because as we say, we're trying to cultivate these new talent in the breakout tournament. There is so much going on in there that you've got so many people on that tail end of NXT that you could almost put them there.
The problem is, do you want to do that and end up with the same code that we had each time that we do this? Because we start at the point of NXT 2.0, Tiffany Stratton wasn't a thing, and at best she was really like green.
Yeah.
So do we want to put ourselves in a situation where we're back to a Tiffany Stratton? I don't mean this in like a negative sense where she's not ready. I get
what you're saying.
I totally get that. It's a valid concern to have. She's only been wrestling for 2 years as well.
We definitely do have people on the NXT roster though that don't need to be there anymore. And I'm not even speaking about the men at the moment. For example, Lyra Valkyria, she is very she's advanced for NXT. I think she's someone who can but like I'm saying right now, like Halloween Havoc, that match, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, if that's given time, that could be a match of the year contender right now. 100% I could see that being a match of the year contender. Like both of those women are incredibly talented. I'm kind of glad that they've dropped the whole character with Lyra because it wasn't on board for me for a long time. It's like, yeah, she likes butterflies. It's like, okay, cool. I think
Isn't it ravens?
I don't care what it is. I honestly do not care what it is.
There were wings.
Just
Something about wings. Like she's how about you just make a character? She's great in the ring and she's in touch with who she is. Like, how about you just do that instead of I like ravens? It's like with NXT, like when NXT 2.0 first started off, like you had all these wacky characters and they just threw them at the wall and whatever.
It was so much fun.
It was dude. This is why I love covering NXT because like for at least 10 minutes in my reviews, I get to talk about Tony D'Angelo, and it just brings me so much
Sleeping
joy.
with the fishes.
Oh,
and you know what? And the reason I know that you love watching it so much is because I listen to your reviews, and you say sometimes these are just segments that you just find on NXT. You wouldn't find them anywhere else.
Literally nowhere.
Such an NXT segment.
It's just NXT. It's fantastic. It's just so dumb. It's so, like this Chase U thing that's going on at the moment. Like I am begging them not to break Chase U up because if they came up to the main roster, you have got a great bit of storylines like there with Andre Chase University, like Duke Hudson. It was so good to have them segments.
As I said, give me Chase U versus freaking Alpha Academy. Have the battle of the courses.
Yes.
Battle of the subjects.
Yeah, battle of the subjects.
Battle of the
101 lessons.
It's like biology versus physics.
But not even like that. You just do random stuff that make no sense.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Like the whole Von Wagner thing. Like, what is going on with Von Wagner? But even at the start of NXT 2.0, it was so funny, man, with Kyle O'Reilly and him going out to the woods and just chopping trees down. Like, why did we need to see that? Where's
I'm a cool guy.
The answer is we didn't, but we got it, and it was so good.
The answer is we didn't.
Duke Hudson was a poker player, and that was literally his gimmick. It was
I love poker.
It was so funny. It was just great, and it was great because that was his gimmick, and he was terrible at it. He always lost. It was Cameron Grimes didn't know how to play it. And he beat him. And it was just like Duke Hudson had to get his head shaved or some shit. I was like, oh my God. What is NXT? I love it so much. Go watch
It's great. It's great.
Anyway, do we have anything else we want to add to Fastlane?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Any final thoughts for Fastlane?
I'm just a bit disappointed.
Open challenge.
What did you say, Morgan?
Austin Theory open challenge.
I'd be down for that. Be cool.
Oh, who would you have?
Who's going to answer it?
Cedric.
Yeah! Do it!
Agent, make the story work.
You cowards.
I mean, we lost my boy, so yeah.
No, we lost
Yeah,
my
we
boy.
lost.
I'm really sorry.
I just want to say,
Oh no.
Fastlane normally is a premium live event that bridges between Rumble and Mania. So what's this Fastlane going to bridge between? Survivor Series and Crown Jewel?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Interesting.
Also, I know this is a horse that's probably been beaten to death at this point. I am so sick of calling it premium live events, man.
Yeah, it's so weird going from PPV to PLE.
It's a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I say PLE. Premium live event just makes me sound a little bit too
Premium
like,
live
up
event.
your ass.
Like, shut up, you pretend.
But it sounds so funny when you think of TKO Holdings as a whole, and you've got UFC pay-per-views and WWE PLE.
Premium live event.
Yeah. What I find really funny as well is John Cena even said it when he was doing like the host of the freaking most recent pay-per-view. He went to go, I'm being the host of the wait, we call them premium live event.
Yeah,
now.
he even stumbled on it.
Like he looked at Stu at the camera and it's like, we're calling them premium live events now. I'm like,
That relationship he has with Stu.
It's so
man.
good.
Awesome thing.
It's a thing of beauty.
I don't get how Gunther's not on this card. You've got now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. How have you
Just
not?
don't.
I literally said it in the group chat. I was like, Gunther and Tommaso apparently was scheduled for Fastlane, and it didn't happen.
And they
you
just
could have
go,
honestly
no.
you could have honestly had that moment where Imperium beats down on Tommaso at the end, and then you could have had Johnny come out.
What a match that was on Raw.
I would also love to just see Bronson Reed versus Gunther at some point. Like,
Bronson Reed versus anyone on a premium live event.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gunther versus everyone on a premium live event. Right?
Just
For
give him any
sure.
premium line event spot. I don't care.
Yeah, this is true.
Because he's war ready.
I'm just saying, guys, if we're doing the usual thing that Survivor Series does, and it's champion versus champion, at this current moment in time, we go and watch Gunter massacre Austin Theory.
Oh yes, give me that. Give me Daddy Gunther just
Wait,
pasting.
so you're still thinking Austin Theory is going to somehow get it back off Rey Mysterio?
Oh shit, it's Ray, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's Ray,
I just
Gunther,
said
and
what I was
Dom.
just about to say.
Oh yeah, it'll be Ray Gunther Dom.
Oh.
And then with the champions, you're going to have Roman, Seth, Ilya.
That's if, yeah, but that,
Women's champions, Rhea, Io,
that's if
Becky.
you're going to be involved. I don't.
Yeah, no,
we clearly know it's
hella
gonna be
seems like NXT
Charlotte.
are involved.
Maybe that's Cody's announcement for NXT next week.
Oh yes, I'd be very happy.
I more think it's going to be the Dusty Road Classics.
He
but
can make more than
I
one
am-
announcement, my guy. He can
He
say
said
more
it's
than
not
one
a
thing.
major announcement, so it's going to be one.
Yeah, he
Right.
only
I think
did
I
major
think
announcement.
go off
not
script.
one.
I think you just go off script and say, "Oh, by the way, NXT's involved in Survivor Series bye," and then they have to do it.
He just goes, "Hi, Tony Khan, how are you? I know you're watching me right now."
No, imagine this major announcement is he's like, oh, 2024 is coming up. So's my contract.
Oh, fuck
Oh.
right off.
Bidding
He hits an
war
MJF.
on 2024.
He's literally got a new pop vinyl coming out. Like,
That don't mean shite for Cody. He has.
Oh, no. Listen, guys, I've got it. I know exactly what Cody's announcement's going to be.
So what do you want to talk about?
it's Clive.
I can't do it.
Nah, do it, because we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Talk about. No, it's all seriousness. He's going to announce that CM Punk is that shit of a wrestler that he's going to put him on NXT so he can develop the main roster again.
Ilya Dragunov versus CM Punk.
And let Ilya Dragunov chop the hell out of him.
Yeah. Give me the
I
Mad
mean,
Dragon.
yeah, take my card as long as Ilya wins and Ilya beats him, because I'm sorry, Ilya is the man right now.
Yeah.
Dragunov.
He is him.
Right. Any final thoughts for Fastlane, guys?
It's
No,
I
mid
think
lane.
I'm good.
Nothing. That's all. Apart from the open
Everything
challenge
I
for
needed to say.
the title, that would have been cool. But sorry, Ray.
As I said, I'm upset that Gunther champ has been taken off the card. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
I
Go on.
think Roman Reigns is shit.
That's not a new take from you.
Anyway, right, guys, we are going to wrap it up here. Thank you, Morgan, very much for joining us again. We
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
having you on always.
Plug yourself, my guy.
Yeah,
Plug
that's what I was going to say. Plug yourself.
Thank you as always for having me, guys. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Make sure to see me on all social medias, everything that you can do, either at Simply Delicious Tour or, more importantly, with my wrestling promotion at Win Wrestling. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Morgan's socials are in the description below, guys, if you do want to check him out. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out for our Fastlane predictions. Put your predictions in the comments down below. We'd love to read them and hear them. Make sure you check out the gang's socials as well. We're all down there. All our personal socials, Outcasted socials are down there as well. And enjoy Fastlane. We will see you next week for WrestleMania theme song rankings. That's what we're doing next week.
Yes, that's what we are doing.
Woo! And we have a very special episode coming at the end of the month with a certain podcast of Snapbacks and Beards.
Oh, yeah, about time they answered that bloody open challenge. Fucking
Yeah, you know, they've been cowering for too long.
little
They
bitches.
shut. They shut.
No, bitch.
We should buy them some Depends because they're probably going to shit themselves during the entire thing.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm coming for the smoke now. I ain't hosting. I'm answering questions. I'm here for the smoke. They've tagged
We
me in
haven't
on
done the
hot
wheel
tag.
yet. You don't know that you're actually participating.
Anyway,
Nah, I'm
right,
making sure
let's
now.
wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for hanging out, and we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later, Bolt.
Deuces.